What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building. And of course, we got to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. The previews for the new season are already starting to drop, and it looks like the shade is already being thrown. Okay. So before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. If you are new here, hit that notification bell button and join the texting community at 202-918-3386, where I will tell you every time I drop a new video on this channel or my personal channel. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the shade of it all. And in order to do so, we've got to take things over to our friends over at OMFG Reality TV, where a clip has surfaced of the ladies previewing Marlo Hampton's Les Archives. Okay. Now, Les Archives was actually featured last season when Kenya Moore stopped by to support Marlo Hampton, but we're going to be getting more of a spectacle this season, and it looks like it's going to go down in the first episode where we will have most likely our first all-cast event, and the shade starts early. Let me just give you a little taste,
We are at the Les Archives event. It's an event.
Drew is already starting things off early. It's the casual hair tug. It's an event. Okay. So in this clip, we get the ladies, walking around, sort of, asking questions about what exactly is Les Archives. Are these pieces from her wardrobe? You see Sanya, I should say, Richards Ross saying Trey confused. She's definitely trying to figure out what exactly Les Archives is. And to be quite funny, I mean, even Kandi throws in a little bit of shade because she's trying to figure out what's going on too, because she actually sees what appears to be J-Lo's dress that J-Lo wore to, I think it was the Grammys that year. I think it was the Versace dress. And she's wondering like how she got that or whatever. But she does compliment Marlo on the fact that there does seem to be a lot of money spent on the event. Okay.
But are there going to be models coming through?
So they're asking all the questions. What exactly is this event? And there was a commenter that stated here and that says, "I'm sorry, but this looks dope." She's showcasing her inventory and displayed it as art. And I think that is the key here for this right here. But Marlo, is never one to miss a shady moment. Okay. She don't miss no shade, and she ain't gonna let no shade go by. Okay. So Marlo is clapping back on her own, and we're gonna bring up what she had to say via her Instagram stories. Okay. Now I got this I first initially saw this on, I think it was Housewives of ATL. So I wanted to shout them out and give them proper credit. And I went to go check out Marlo's Instagram, and the posts were still here. So she says the fake love is so funny. And I'm not talking about with your lover. She then goes on to say, this is a fashion show. Okay. This is a fashion show. Fashion show 101. Okay. And then she says, this is a fashion exhibition. Fashion 101. So she basically is showing the girls, okay, who has questions, what the difference is between a fashion show and a fashion exhibition, which is clearly what she was going for with her Les Archives event, okay? So she then posts, notice the difference. And then she says, then she goes into, a little bit more about her new hairstyle or whatever. But I love that she goes into explaining exactly what it is. And she is calling out the fake love, which I'm assuming maybe to her face, they were very supportive, but maybe she's seeing these scenes and she's like, well, maybe y'all weren't so supportive. Okay. Now, I got to go ahead and say this because I did champion for my girl Marlo to become a peach holder all last season. And I feel like I manifested it. Okay. The power of manifestation. I'm not going to say it was just me. I feel like it was several of us out there doing the manifestations of her joining the cast. But what I will say about this whole situation is this. At the very end of the day, you can knock or you can basically question what Marlo is doing with Lay Archive, but what you can't really question is the fact that Mama was featured in Vogue. Okay. Miss Mama was featured in Vogue for her fashions. Now, I don't know if anybody else on the show or many of the other reality shows have been featured in Vogue for their fashions, but I mean, that's a pretty big accomplishment right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty big accomplishment. And I'm not really mad at Marlo Hampton because I kind of feel like, you know, Marlo is getting that glow up. You know what I'm saying? She is getting that glow up. And I'm not really mad at it at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And to go further with it, I want to give people an explanation for exactly, what Lay Archive actually truly is because they go into it in the Vogue article. Okay. So in the Vogue article, she details that in 2000, it details in 2020, she debuted Lay Archive, a destination luxury boutique in Atlanta, offering more than 5,000 pieces of her personal wardrobe and newly sourced garments, all for rent. Okay. Now it says they only currently service a selective clientele by appointment. She conceptualized Lay Archive after she became the caretaker of her two nephews. She wanted to make sure she would be able to care for them, whether or not she's on Housewives. She said, one day I was laying down thinking, what am I going to do? I think I may be a full-time mom/auntie. I had all these clothes upstairs. I knew I wasn't selling them on eBay, but I had to take care of these boys. At first, I was like, okay, maybe you should sell them. But then immediately I said, there's no way I can sell them. I kept thinking that's my first gown from Paris I purchased 10 years ago. There's no way I can sell this, or this PVC bag that no one can get. It's like $10,000 or $11,000. So as I was laying down, I said, I'm going to start a showroom where you can rent these clothes. Now, the showroom selections include over 100 designers from Tory Burch to Tom Ford. Lay Archive also has a hefty stock of Chanel, including vintage sunglasses, brooches, and this season's quilted hot pink boots. A true testament to Hampton's taste, the selection is curated by her alone. Okay. She says that she got her inspiration from Patricia Fields, who, as many of you guys who are, if you are into fashion, you will know that Patricia Fields was responsible for the original run of the Sex and the City show with the fashions featured on that show. And she says, I hope one day I can look at television and I can say, wow, Lay Archive created this character. I would love to work alongside costume designers. I have an eye for picking out amazing pieces. That's my field and my talent. I believe she also worked with Tammy Roman, if I'm not, if I'm correct. Um, She says, I definitely feel that when I go somewhere, even back to Goodwill, I'm going to pick out a piece you're going to want 10, 20 years from now. You know, I just have to say, like, listen, I mean, they can shade the exhibition, but you can't shade the fact that Marlo has done something with her love for fashion. And if we could take anything from this, I think it's this. If you focus on what it is you love and you are passionate about, there is a way that you can generate an income from that. You just have to be creative. And I know a lot of people may tell you, Don't focus on your passion, but I'm here to tell you your passion can definitely lead to your paper, okay? And I'm not mad at Marlo. I'm actually very excited about this, and I think it was a very smart business move on her behalf to make. And it's great that it's going to be featured on the first episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and may even be the first event. So that's pretty major for Marlo as she is entering her first season as a peach holder. But let me know what you guys think down in the conversation down below. You know, do they have a right to be shady, or were they really asking real questions that they were confused about? Let me know in the comments. I mean, maybe I could be reading it wrong, but Miss Mama was featured in Vogue. So I mean, if you need to know anything about what she's doing with Late Archive, you can definitely go there, and the link will be in the description down below. Make sure you guys keep it locked to the channel, and we will be back with more great content.